So the next line here that we have is Hadabar Hatova.
Oh, barabara siya. Pala makita po sa mga brother nga nakay kasakit pero di mo may pakita nga affected ka.
Frustration, heartbreak, loneliness, option. I'm okay.
Ipakita ni mga athletes nga mabalance.
Amen mga kaigsunan.
Amen. Kana jud mabalance yun.
Yo, importante kayo na.
Maririnig ako. Basta sa position.
Kami man ko.
Okay, so let's continue. Here we have Hadavar, Hatova, Hatov, Hazeh. Okay, so you have your demonstrative pronoun here. You have Hadavar. This is your noun. Hatov is your adjective. Okay. So this is actually the word order that we have in Hebrew. First, you have the noun, the adjective, and the demonstrative pronoun. Okay. This demonstrative pronoun is masculine singular. Masculine singular demonstrative pronoun. So literally, you will translate each of the word as Hadavar, the word, Hatov, the good, Hazeh, the this. Okay. So the demonstrative pronoun also receives an article because the demonstrative pronoun should always agree with the noun and the adjective. Okay. So you'll translate this as this good thing. Hadavar, Hatov, Hazeh, this good thing. That's the English way on how to translate this phrase. And then you have another phrase down here. You have Haberith, Hakadash, Haberith, Hakadasha, Hazoth, right? So these words are actually all feminine. This is Haberith is feminine. Hakadasha agrees with the feminine noun. And then your demonstrative pronoun is also feminine. Okay. All of them have definite article. This is the definite article. This is a definite article. So again, noun, adjective, demonstrative pronoun, they all agree together in gender, in number, and in definiteness. Okay? Let me write that down. So this phrase, this adjectival phrase you call it, agrees with gender, okay, number, and definiteness. Okay, so I hope you're writing that down in your notes. Gender, number, definiteness. So this is what you call an attributive adjective. Okay. Okay, write that down in your notes. Attributive adjective. All right, so that's it. So that's the definite article, the function of definite article there. Just go ahead. Who is that?
Why we Jason Pasar, okay.
Yes,
the word this good thing, why we cannot say that the good thing, Pastor, instead of this good thing? What is the difference between using the article, Pastor?
Yeah, okay. The article basically tells you that this phrase is definite. Okay. Are you with me? It talks about the
Yes, Pastor.
the definiteness of the phrase. So in order for you to make it definite, you add the definite article. So in the adjectival phrase, if you want every word in the adjectival phrase, I mean, if your adjectival phrase is definite, so you have to add the definite article every word. Okay? Unlike in English, you only have one. So when you say the, okay, when you say the, what's next is good thing. You know that the good thing is basically definite. So the function of the article here in the noun, in the adjective, and in the demonstrative pronoun tells you that the phrase is definite. Okay, that is the rule in Hebrew. But in English, it doesn't matter. You don't need to write that. So basically, if you are going to translate this phrase here, okay, and this phrase here down below, you will translate this. Okay, let's go first to the third phrase you have there, hadavar. Okay, let's try to remove all the lines here so we can read it properly. Okay. Okay, so you have here hadavar, hatov, hazeh. So take note, each word has a definite article, right?
Yes, Pastor.
1, 2, 3. So this is what you call an adjectival phrase. Okay, to make the phrase definite, you have to add the definite article in each of the word. So literally, you will translate each word here, hadavar, as the thing or the word. Then you have hatov, the good, and then hazeh, you say the this. So if you put it all together, you say the word, the good, the this. If you translate that, if you say that in English, it cannot be basically understood, no? So you have to refine your translation. So instead of saying the thing, the good, the this, you just say this good thing. All right. So that's how you are going to translate in English.
Okay,
But for Hebrew, putting the definite article in each word in the adjectival phrase is very important because it tells you that the phrase is definite. Okay? Yes. Right. So did you get my explanation there?
Yes, Pastor. Thank you.
Okay, good. Any other questions before we move on?
Pastor, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Okay, be sure that I can answer that, Rene, huh?
What is the difference if the word, what is the importance of the definite article for a definite word? For example, the word is not definite, then what is the importance of the definite and not definite word?
Okay, so for example, we'll remove the definite article here. Okay, let's say there's no definite article. So you will read this phrase as hadavar, hatov, ze. You get it? Okay, hadavar, hatov, ze. What happens here? That means to say that this word ze, the demonstrative pronoun ze, is no longer definite. Am I correct? Right?
Yes, Pastor.
Because we remove the definite article. Now what happens is this. That means to say that this word no longer agrees with these two words here in the phrase. This is no longer definite. these two words are definite. Now, how should we now translate it? Okay, so you will now translate the phrase as, it's no longer the same, okay? So your, this phrase now becomes your predicate, okay? It becomes now your predicate. Your definite article, okay? Your definite article ze would now be your subject. So how will we translate it? We will translate it this way. This is, okay, the good thing. So did you see the difference now?
Okay, Pastor. Thank you, Pastor.
So that makes the difference there. So it's, if you want that the phrase would be definite, everything should be definite. But if one word is not definite, then it would not be, then there will be a different translation already. Okay, for example, right? So let's try to make this clear here. Sorry. Okay, so for example, okay, this is only an example, huh? For example, the tov does not have a definite article. The ze now would be moved here, okay? Are you with me? It will move there. The tov would be moved here. Okay? Are you following me?
Yes, Pastor.
Now, how would we now translate it? It would now be translated as, okay? It would now be translated as like this. This thing is good. Did you see the difference?
Yes, Pastor.
So basically we have how many translations? 1, 2, 3. Okay. This, the first one, the definite, the adjectival, the definite adjectival phrase, you translate it as this good thing. But if the definite, but if the demonstrative pronoun is not definite, this is how you're going to translate it. This is the good thing. But if the adjective is not definite, you will translate it as this thing is good. So you see the difference in the translation? So
yes, Pastor.
basically,
Thank you.
your this, okay, sorry for that. I hope it will not go on. Your this here is now your subject, okay? And your good thing is your predicate. Okay, did you get that? But in this case, your this thing is your subject and your good is your predicate. Okay, did you see the difference? Okay, that's how the sentence in Hebrew actually functions. Okay, so I hope that's clear. I don't know, I think we are going to tackle that later on. But let's go to the words here. Let's move on to the words. Okay, so you have more words to memorize or to be familiar with. And by the way, Rene Glenn, I watched your YouTube. I appreciate it. It's actually very good. Continue that thing that you are actually doing. And if you guys have not yet watched the YouTube of Rene Glenn, subscribe him. and then like, and then follow what he's doing. Right? We'll use media in different ways to reach out to people. Okay?
Thank you, Pastor.
Right. Let's go to the next word here. You have the word ashir. Ashir, rich or rich man. Then you have the word ani, poor, poor man. Berith, covenant. Very familiar word for us. Anuki or ani. This is personal pronoun, first person, I. Yeled, son or child. This is a noun. Asera, 10. This is ordinal number. Okay, ordinal number, asara. And then you have your interrogative pronoun, ha. Now take note, this is different from your definite article. Your definite article is ha, and what? He. Okay? So if you see the word ha, and you have the vowel, you have the hatef patak here, this would tell you that this is an interrogative pronoun, okay? Or yes, this actually introduces a question. That is why when I ask you, Hayesh lakem tikwa, the ha there is actually this one, right? I hope you're following me. Okay. So when I would write the word Hayesh, it would actually look like this. Hayesh. So this is your interrogative. So you ask, this is a question translated as is there? Okay. But what we have this afternoon is only the question. Is there? Hayesh lakem tikwa? What will be your answer?
Yes, le tikwa.
Very good. Okay, I like that. But when you answer, it should be with all your levav, okay? You know what levav means? Your heart, okay? Okay? It should be all with kol levav, with all. Kol levav kem, okay? All
Is that
your heart. So you say, yes, play tikwa. Right, that's it. And then we have another word here, min or me, from or more than. Take note that the noon actually drops off, and the noon that drops off sometimes is compensated by a dagesh forte. The preposition min is attached to. Okay. Right, so yes, now I am explaining. Now we have the word that I just explained to you. So you have the word here, midawid. So the noon is basically compensated by the dagesh forte here. Okay. So you have it there. Basically, sorry for this. Basically, if you look at this letter, Dalet, is a bigad kapat letter. Supposedly, if it begins a word or a syllable, it must have, if you want to harden it, you need a dagesh, lene. But in this case, the dagesh here is a dagesh forte to compensate for the missing noon right here. Okay, that is why you read this word as midawid. So right, so you have to get. I hope you get that.
Question, Pastor.
Yes, Kim.
So every time Dagesh, Pastor. That means that there's a lengthening.
No. What do you mean by lengthening?
I mean, there's a missing letter if there's a dagesh.
No. It depends, actually. Okay. So in this case, the dagesh forte here compensates for the missing nun. In this case, this is your dagesh lene, which means to say you are hardening the bigad kapat letters. Okay. What are the bigad kapat letters? Be, ke, Beth, Kaf, Daleth. No. Okay. Let me erase that one first. Okay. Tools. Tools. Eraser tools. Okay. So bigad kapat.
Gimel, Dalet.
Yes. Beth, Gimel, Dalet,
Kaf,
Pei, and Tau. Right? So bigad kapat letters. So the bigad kapat letters, in order to lengthen in order to harden, you add a dagesh forte. So in this case, you have a dagesh forte. In the word baka, this one is dagesh lene. Okay? So the dot in the middle in the bigad kapat letters, these are your bigad kapat letters, is called dagesh lene. Okay? Dagesh lene. Now, for example, here, the dagesh here is no longer dagesh lene, but it is dagesh forte. Why it is a dagesh forte? It hardens and at the same time compensates for the missing nun. The dagesh is very important in the identification of a certain word. Okay? Let me repeat that. The dagesh forte is important in identifying a certain word, and we will see the dagesh forte when we go along. All right. So, okay. So in this case, again, let me repeat that the dagesh is basically a compensating mechanism for the missing nun. So that is why you have a dagesh there. So you read this as mid David. So the daleth now, instead of making it hard, it is doubled. Okay. So mid David. Okay, so that's how you're going to read that one. Okay, let's go to the next. Lameh or lamah. All right. So here you have the dagesh. This one is now called a dagesh forte because mem does not belong to the bigad kapat letters. Mem does not belong to the bigad kapat letters. So the dagesh here is called a dagesh forte. Now, what is the function of the dagesh forte there? It tells you that this is actually an interrogative pronoun. Okay? Why? Lamah. Lamah, interrogative. Why? And then you have lameh. Yes. So that's how the dagesh forte actually works. And we are going to meet that as we go along. So lameh or lama means why. Then you have baka. The dagesh here is dagesh lene, hardening it hardens the beth because the beth belongs to the bigad kapat letters. Baka, he wept. And then you have the word akal, he ate. Then you have yara, it is sad. It was sad. Ain, there is not. There were not. And then you have harag, he killed. Nathan, he gave. do not confuse this word with the proper noun Nathan, okay? But basically the word Nathan could also mean he gave. This is the proper noun Nathan. Take note of the vowel. The vowel is basically kamates here, but in this one is patak. This is for the proper noun you have a kamates, but for the verb you have a patak. Okay, so that's the difference there. I hope you get that one. Okay, so Nathan, he gave. Then you have Shamar, he kept. Then you have Shem, name. All right. So yes, we have not gone to another question, interrogative pronoun. But anyway, Shem means name. Then you have Shemu, his name. So you ask the question, Mashemu, what is his name? Then you answer Shemu Christian, okay? Shemu Renan, Shemu Kim, right? His name is Kim. So you have another word here, Haya, he was, it was. And then you have why he here and there was. Now, this word is used for, okay, this word is used for the, for narratives basically. So if you have why he, it would tell you that this is a continuation of the narrative. All right. So let's see, let's move on if you don't have any questions. So these are the examples now, sentences that we have here. Tov anuki midawid. Okay. What is Tov? Can you identify it? Tov basically is an adjective. Okay, and then you have anuki. This is your personal pronoun, first person, okay? First person, common, singular, personal pronoun. I, which means I. And then you have the word midawid. You have the min there, which means from. Okay, this is a preposition of separation. And then you have midawid, all right? So tov anuki midawid. So I is your noun here. I, you say I am. And then tov is translated as better than, better. And then you have min as than, as I told you a while ago, preposition of separation. And then you have your proper noun, the with. All right, so did you get that? Tov anuki midawid. I am better than David. Okay, next sentence here. You have lo kakam anuki mishalomon. Mishalomo. Okay, mishalomo. Lo kakam anuki mishalomo. Right, so you have again your preposition. This lo is your negation. Okay, and then you have kakam as the your noun. I is anuki is your personal pronoun. Shalomo is another personal. It's actually a proper noun. So lo is a negation. Kakam. So I is your subject. So you translate that as I am. Okay, and then lo is not. And then kakam is wise. But since you are now describing a person to another person, you say wiser. And then your me is than. And then Sholomo is Solomon. Right? So you'll translate lo kakam anuki mi Shlomo as I am not wiser than Solomon. Okay, so let's go to the third sentence here. The third sentence tells us Wayomer halo anuki gadol minathan. Okay, right. So the wow would tell you this is wow consecutive. That tells you that there is a narration going on and it's continuing. This is your verb. We did that last time. The verb basically is imperfect, imperfect, and then you have your ha. This is not a definite article, but this is basically an interrogative. Okay, that word that tells you that the next sentence is basically an interrogative or a question. So, halo anuki gadol minathan. So that's how you're going to read it. And then you have lo is your negation, anuki personal pronoun, gadol is great, which means this is your adjective. Then you have the min, your preposition, and then you have nathan. This is now a proper noun. I have shown you a while ago. So Wayomer, if you see the word Wayomer, it would tell you that the next line would be in a quotation marks. Wayomer, and he said, then follow the quotation marks. So you have the quotation marks there. Halo anuki gadol minatan? Am I not greater than Nathan? So that's how you're going to translate that phrase there. Okay, Wayomer, he said, lo is not, anuki is now your subject, I. Okay, and then gadol is your adjective, okay, adjective greater. And then you have me as your than, okay. And then Nathan is Nathan. So you translate that as, he said, am I not greater than Nathan? So that's the last one there. Okay, let's go to the last one. Okay. Right, so this is, you have the word, let's read this. Hi'ani bi-Yisrael. Hi'ani bi-Yisrael. Okay, so what is this? This is your definite article. Ani is your noun. Be is your preposition, in, by, with. And then you have Yisrael as a proper noun. Okay, so now let me go back. This is an example of the the definite article that we have shown a while ago. This one here. Okay, why is there why is the vowel of the definite article changes into a sigol? Okay, yes, this is a sigol. Why did it change? Supposedly, again, your definite article is hal. Okay, but what you have now is only he. Okay, why he? Right? Why is the vowel he there? Okay, this one, because the ayin does not receive a dagesh forte. Okay, the ayin does not receive a dagesh forte. This is what you call a okay, anyway, ayin is, it's not a silent, but anyway, the ayin does not receive a dagesh forte. So supposedly, unlike the aleph, there is only a lengthening of the vowel, okay? Ha, but in this case, there is what you call virtual lengthening, okay? Virtual compensation of the missing lamed. So that is why you have the sigol right there, okay? So this is your definite article. Ani is poor, then you have be as your preposition, and then Israel is your noun. So you'll translate he ane as the poor, basically. Supposedly you're to translate as the poor, but in this case you have the preposition. I mean, in this case, it becomes superlative. So the he'ani is translated as the poorest. Then you have in Israel. Okay? Be Israel in Israel. So the ani, which is supposed to be only poor, an adjective, but this is now what you call an adjective that functions as a substantive, or you call that as a noun. So the adjective functions as a noun. It is translated as ani is translated as the poorest man in Israel. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this afternoon. Before we go, I'd like you to record again this read here in 5.6. Continue to read this and post it on YouTube so that we can watch it, and I will try to see also the way how you read, and so that I will know whether you are trying to read or not. Okay? Any question before we go? Is everybody there? Rene, any questions?
Pastor, regarding, do we have a last reading, Pastor? Because my internet was nahutdang kuglod tong miagi ba? Then my question is because there is no assignment bin in the model.
Okay, I will post the